Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
New for you now at 5. Fargo police want you to know about a sex offender who's moving to the area. Police say 29-year-old Aaron Kullink now lives at 319 9th Street South, unit number 5. Court records state Kullink played Truth or Dare that included dares that made children take off their clothes and engage in sexual conduct. Kullink must register for a lifetime. A sentencing date has been set for a former West Fargo teacher who pleaded guilty to sex crimes with students. Shannon Mosier will be sentenced on November 5th in Cass County District Court. Court documents state there are 6 victims total and that Mosier had sexual contact with 2 of them. One of those victims being 15, the other 14 years old. Mosier had been a teacher at Liberty Middle School since 2016. She resigned earlier this year. She is facing 5 years to life in prison. Grand Forks police want you to know about a rash of counterfeit bills that are circulating around town. Take a look at your screen. The bills that you should be on the lookout for say for motion picture use only on them. Police say the $100 bill seems to be the most popular counterfeit bill. You can call police if you come across one of these bills. That number is right there at the bottom of your screen. Warm and windy today and still dry. Justin, similar conditions this evening?
And thank you, Andrea. Good evening, everybody. Yes, not that bad through this afternoon. Temperatures a little below normal for this time of year, but still pretty good to round out August. We're in the lower 70s in the Lakes Country, mid 70s into the Fargo Valley City area, upper 70s from Jamestown and out toward Cooperstown, but lower 80s into the Devil's Lake Basin. The wind mainly from the south, and it is breezy to windy at times, seeing winds 15 to 30 miles per hour. That in the sunshine we got today, warming us up pretty nicely. More cloud cover in our southern viewing area and into Lakes Country, and that's where we have the best chance of seeing an isolated thunderstorm through this evening. Otherwise, we will be dry with an increasing cloud trend, turning mostly cloudy as temperatures fall through the 70s. So we'll tell you what to expect as we go through tomorrow with possible severe weather and a nice start to the weekend. That's coming up later in the newscast.
Okay, thanks, Justin. The Sheriff's Department in Wadena County needs your help looking for a man allegedly involved in an assault. The Sheriff's Department says 34-year-old Daniel Marsh from Staples, Minnesota is on the run. If you see him, do not approach him. Instead, call the Sheriff's Office in Wadena at 218-631-7600. A man is in jail tonight after a robbery at Walmart in Grand Forks. 36-year-old Gabriel Longtail of Fort Totten, North Dakota, was arrested for robbery, a warrant, and leaving the scene of a crash. Police say when they got to Walmart, Gabriel drove away and sideswiped another car. Police later found his car parked outside his apartment and took him into custody. We have a follow-up now on a story about a West Fargo whistleblower whose child's cell phone number was posted on a website that appeared to promote prostitution. Such websites were supposed to have been shut down by recent legislation, but Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz is digging deeper and asking authorities, how are sites like this still operating in our area?
West Fargo mom Julie Zimney was surprised to learn her children's cell number was posted on an adult website.
It's just been really eye-opening.
As someone who's volunteered for human trafficking victims most of her life, Zimney says she's holding on to that number until authorities do something about it. But West Fargo Police Chief Heath Yankee says it's not that simple.
What we can do is investigate the crimes that are being committed on those websites, if they are advertising here, and we can investigate that, look for our human trafficking victims, but we would have very little authority here in order to shut down the website.
That's because, as the website shows, it's not just providing local phone numbers. This past April, trafficking sites like Backpage were shut down by the U.S. government, following legislators' efforts to push the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act.
Shame on you. Shame on you for hiding behind the First Amendment while you exploit children in this country and destroy families.
So how are we still seeing these other sites pop up, much less right here in our backyard?
It's such a profitable industry that the pimps, the Johns, or the prostitutes themselves that are independent are always out there looking for a way to place those advertisements.
Anytime that people are manipulating and using other people for profit, they're very, very persistent. So I think that when we shut something down, something else springs up.
Christopher Johnson of Fargo's Rape and Abuse Crisis Center says the reason it's harder to catch human traffickers than, say, drug dealers is because while a prostitute may be caught, the trafficker can just move on to another person.
And so it makes it really, really tricky to hold people accountable.
But Chief Yankee says while the PD may not be able to get rid of the websites, they're always looking for them and working on their next sting.
They may show up at a hotel room some night thinking they're going to engage with a prostitute, and it could be law enforcement on the other side of the door when they knock.
Rose Iskowitz, Valley News Live.
Chief Yankee also says while prostitution is illegal and a major concern, the police department focuses more on rescuing human trafficking victims, those who are forced or manipulated into the work. For more resources on helping human trafficking victims, head to our website and click on this story. Vice President Mike Pence was hailing John McCain's service and advocacy of America's armed forces at the same time McCain's Arizona memorial service was taking place. Pence made those remarks at the American Legion's 100th anniversary convention in Minneapolis. The vice president said America will always remember and honor Senator McCain's lifetime of service. He also recounted being present in Hawaii as the remains of 55 fallen U.S. service members from the Korean War arrived home.
And earlier this summer, as our president secured a historic commitment for the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, he also had our fallen on his heart. President Trump secured a promise from Chairman Kim to return the remains of all our missing fallen service members lost in the Korean War.
President Trump addressed the Legion Convention last year. The U.S. trade war with China is hitting some of your friends and neighbors hard, especially soybean producers. Ag experts at NDSU are so concerned they called a news conference to talk about it. They say the plight of soybean farmers is unique in that China, which prior to the trade war was a major market for North Dakota soybeans, now it is not. And they say this comes at a time when producers are about to harvest a crop they count on to put dollars in their pockets and keep their farming operations alive.
When you're not sure if your operation's going to be able to have the cash flow that it needs to continue for another year, and that's very stressful because it's not just your business that you feel is at risk, it's a way of life that you've lived for generations.
They also say storing the beans so they can sell them later can be very difficult as well. Producers can begin signing up for the assistance on Tuesday. It's a sure sign that the Bison football season is among us. The Bison Block Party outside Shields on 45th Street started just minutes ago, and that's where we find Valley News teams Hutch Johnson and Beth Hool, who are helping kick off the event. Hey guys, you having fun out there?
Well, things are just going great out here. Little breezier this year, but a few clouds to keep us from overheating. Karen Olson joins me from Shields. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Okay, so 5 to 8 tonight. We got the front fenders. You can hear those in the background, I'm sure. We're giving away the limited edition yard signs, and we've got Deke's Pizza for the first $7.50 tonight.
Yeah, I always say it's a rough job going from a barbecue to a block party, but it's all fun.
Darn. I feel terrible for you.
You got things for the kids too, right?
Yep, absolutely. We've got inflatable games over here. We've got a mechanical bull for either little kids or big kids.
A mechanical bull?
Well, we got to have something for you to do later.
Well, no, I think Beth is the experienced bull rider. Speaking of Beth Hool, Beth joins us now. A big season expected with the Bison this year. They have players coming back. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season for the Bison this year. Taking on Cal Poly this weekend to kick it off, taking on that option. A great time for the Bison to have so much senior leadership and so many returning guys with playing experience on that defense. Really strong start for them. We've got all your coverage for Bison football this year on NBC, KVLY, KFYR, Bison Football Network, home for your Farmers Union Insurance, Bison Football pregame show. That's going to be at 1:30 this week, kicking off that coverage. Kickoff to follow at 2:30. Our entire crew is back, and of course, we're your home for football all season long. I know ESPN Plus has kind of confused some people, but you can continue to watch football on your local NBC channel across the state of North Dakota and in our region of Minnesota.
Sounds fantastic. All right, well, the party's just getting started. There's still pizza left, Beth, so you better grab us a slice or two, and we'll throw it back into the studio for you now.
All right, thanks you guys, and we'll have much more on the block party tonight on Valley News Live at 6. And if you are looking for the perfect tailgating breakfast for this Saturday's Bison home opener, Sandy's Donuts has a delicious idea. Check out the Horns Up Donut. Sandy's will be selling these starting this Saturday at all Sandy's locations and will have a truck set up around the tailgating area. Identity theft is becoming a